What if the most powerful character in a story was already dead? What if a person could control every room, every conversation, and every relationship, without ever appearing on the page? That's the haunting genius of Rebecca, a novel about obsession, memory, identity, and the terrifying power of the past. Published in 1938, Rebecca became one of the most celebrated psychological Gothic novels ever written. Decades later, readers still find themselves trapped inside its mystery, because beneath the suspense lies something far deeper, a story about who we are and who we fear we can never become. One of the most fascinating things about Rebecca is this: the protagonist has no name. She's simply known as the second Mrs. De Winter. From the very beginning, her identity feels incomplete, fragile, uncertain, and that's exactly the point. The young narrator meets the wealthy widower Maxim De Winter, a mysterious man carrying emotional scars from his past. Their romance moves quickly, marriage follows, and soon she arrives at Manderley, the estate that will change her life forever. Manderley isn't just a setting, it's practically a character. Grand, beautiful, intimidating. Every hallway, every room, every object seems haunted by one person, Rebecca. Here's the strange thing: Rebecca is dead before the story begins. Yet she dominates the entire novel. People speak about her, compare themselves to her, remember her, fear her, and through those memories, Rebecca becomes larger than life. The second Mrs. De Winter becomes obsessed with Rebecca's beauty, Rebecca's confidence, Rebecca's popularity. She constantly compares herself to a woman she never even met, and that comparison slowly destroys her confidence. This is one reason the novel feels so modern, because many people understand this feeling, comparing themselves to others, feeling inadequate, believing they can never measure up. Rebecca becomes the embodiment of impossible expectations. No character represents this obsession more than Mrs. Danvers, the housekeeper who worships Rebecca's memory. To her, Rebecca isn't gone, she's still alive through memory, and she refuses to let anyone replace her. One of the novel's most powerful themes is memory, because memories aren't always accurate. They're emotional, selective, distorted, and in Rebecca, memory becomes a weapon that shapes reality. The story is told entirely through the narrator's perspective. But can we trust her? She's insecure, anxious, obsessed. Her fears influence everything she sees, everything she remembers, and everything she believes. As Rebecca's shadow grows larger, the narrator's identity begins to disappear. She stops seeing herself as an individual. Instead, she sees herself only in comparison to Rebecca, and that creates the novel's central conflict. Eventually, shocking truths emerge. The perfect image of Rebecca begins to crack. The woman everyone admired may not have been who they believed she was. And suddenly, memory and reality collide. Du Maurier asks a powerful question: what happens when we turn people into legends? When we remember only what we want to remember? The answer is dangerous, because idealization often hides the truth. Nearly a century later, the themes remain incredibly relevant. Social comparison, self-doubt, the pressure to meet impossible expectations, the struggle to define yourself. Modern readers still recognize these fears. For writers, Rebecca offers masterclasses in storytelling. Create mystery through absence, use setting as a character, build tension through psychology, explore identity through conflict, let memory shape the narrative. The novel proves that horror doesn't always need monsters. Sometimes it only needs insecurity. Du Maurier understood something profound. The most terrifying battles happen inside the mind. Her novel isn't about a ghost. It's about obsession, and how obsession can consume identity itself. At its heart, Rebecca is about finding yourself in the shadow of someone else. It's about breaking free from impossible comparisons, and discovering that identity cannot be built through imitation, only through self-acceptance. Rebecca remains one of literature's greatest psychological novels because it explores fears that never disappear. The fear of not being enough, the fear of the past, and the fear of losing yourself. If you want more storytelling breakdowns, literary analysis, and writing insights, subscribe, because the greatest stories don't just entertain us. They reveal the deepest fears hidden inside the human mind.